Do a sound good in your ear.
Oh my God, guys, this is what I deal with.
We're recording
on a weekly basis.
And you wouldn't have it any other way.
I would not.
This is our last episode of the season.
Oh no.
But also fun. Yay.
Yay. Because it has been such a great 6 months. We celebrated our 6-month anniversary.
Yeah.
What? When was it?
Well, what is today?
I don't know. You sent me a message and said
It technically is today. June 30th is when we're recording this, and we came up with this concept on December 30th. So,
but we didn't actually launch until
Till-
February 14th
Yes,
because
but
of
we
our
were-
love for Palmas.
Yes, but we were recording before that.
We sure were.
Yeah. So, yay, 6 months.
Yay. So I feel like, I know we've talked about this before, but I feel like we should just give a little recap as to why we started this podcast. And obviously the main reason is because we love Palmas so much and we wanted to share and learn more about some of the people that we know and love here in Palmas.
And also getting to know new people in Palmas.
Yes.
And just bring people together here.
Yep.
Because awesome people should know awesome people.
Right. And you may have met somebody, but not necessarily got to know them very well. And this gives you a little more insight into some of the people here in Palmas.
Yeah.
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 I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we put together some notes for this show and just kind of recapping the season and what we've learned about just doing the show and what we've learned about each other. Who wants to go first? I think I want to go first.
You have something that you've learned about me, whether it was on the show, on an episode or not. What have you learned about me in the last 6 months?
Well, I think I knew this before, but I really learned it from the show. And that's that you have mad Photoshop skills because somehow you transformed some of our pictures from what could be horrible to something magical, in my opinion. So whenever I see, when you send me the images, I'm always like, oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah.
So you do a great job at that. I also wanted to say, I feel like you've come a long way because I remember when we first, the first episode we recorded.
Oh yeah.
And
because I had never done anything like this before and I was so nervous.
Yeah, you were so scared.
And we were with Joel.
Yep.
And he's like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to hit the record button
we're going
because
to practice.
You need that pressure. So we're just going to practice. And then at the end of this recording, I'm going to give you some notes and then we'll do
another show.
And then we'll schedule an actual show.
Right.
And so we did that, and then at the end of that show, that test, he said, "You can post this."
Yeah.
And it was the confidence that I actually really needed because I was really nervous to do this.
Yeah.
And on top of it, I don't like the sound of my voice.
I know, which is why you don't listen to our shows, but you should.
I do listen to most of them. But I also I was present at the time of recording.
True. Well, for some of them,
all but one.
Which we're going to talk about. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you that I'm very impressed with how far you've come and also, how far we've come. I feel like it's especially, it's always when you start a new podcast, you have a little bit of that learning curve of who you're working with and feeling that jive.
Well, and two, it's not even just that, but it's like we're trying out different things to see if we like things.
Yeah.
You know, it's like with rapid fire. Like that was something that we wanted to try out, and sometimes it works and it just kind of flows naturally, and then sometimes we just don't even do it because it doesn't need to be on every episode.
Right.
You know, but it's something that is just kind of fun.
True.
You know.
So,
Well,
yeah. I love our dynamic. I think that
I do
it's
too.
I think with every show it gets a little bit better.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I love doing this with you.
I do too.
And I also love that we do everything in person. Like, I know people have asked us, like, what are you going to do? Because we're obviously going to be traveling for the summer and like hurricane season and all that. And people have been like, oh, well, why don't you could do it on Zoom or you could do this or that. And it's like, no.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's
way better being in the same room with the people and you doing it.
And I just feel like too, we're really good partners. Yeah. And that's hard to come by, but it's nice that we both have like mad skills in our areas and we get to both contribute to this. I mean, you're phenomenal with all of the editing and just like you're a great producer, and I am grateful for you because you're my friend.
Yeah.
And that's
thanks.
awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really like, I feel bad because I said to her, I'm like, we should say something that we've learned about each other. And here she goes first. And she said something really nice about me. And on my list, I have, this bitch doesn't like after dinner drinks or dessert. And I don't know what to do about that. And that was in my notes for something that I learned about you, that you don't like after dinner drinks or dessert.
I don't really.
And that, like, here you go, say something so nice about me, and that was on my list. Like, this bitch.
I see how you are.
Well, you know, but except for a dessert that we have shared.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a special dessert at Ember and Vine.
Yes.
If you haven't been yet, you have to go. The food is
highly
wonderful.
recommend.
So good. The service is amazing. I have been there
many times.
But they have this baklava cheesecake.
So good.
And
I don't like dessert.
That is like heavenly.
Yeah.
Like, it's like all of the amazing flavors.
I've had it twice in a week now.
Yeah. Well, I don't normally like eat. I try not to eat too much dessert, but
Becky talked me into it both times.
Yeah. But there was that one time that we went there, you and I, and I'm like, oh, I think I'll have like an after dinner drink. And you were like, nah.
Yeah, I got that limoncello and it was gross.
Oh, hey.
Sorry.
It's not that it was gross. It was delicious. She just doesn't like after dinner drinks.
True.
Just putting that
True
out
fact.
there. Meanwhile,
yes.
I'm
if you like
after
dinner drinks.
Meanwhile, I was sipping on my Di Serono on the rocks.
We definitely tried some different things.
Yes.
This, we didn't want this to just be a boring conversation. It's not an interview.
But that's what I'm saying. We didn't want it to be that.
Yeah. It's a conversation or
it's a
chat. As you may have heard us say.
Yes.
On
I added that
shows.
to the merch that we will be launching in season 2.
Yes. Yes. It is not an interview. It's a chat. So obviously we have the conversations or chats with people. We've also had the Palmas Peeps and the parents who made them.
Yes.
We've had some sibling shows.
Yes.
Well, one sibling show.
Expect more.
Yes.
So
or family
if
members.
Any of you are excited you'd like to be on the show, please message us and let us know too, when you have relatives in town, family, friends, anyone, and we would love to have you all on because it's so much fun.
It's fun to also hear other people's perspective about you and the move here and being here and how they feel about Palmas and all that. We did the shows where we were around town or in different towns. What did we call that?
Out and about.
Yes.
Oh, you did that on purpose.
Yes. Because you're supposed to say it all the time.
Yes, I am supposed to say it out and about.
Remember that time at Norberto's where we did the live show?
That was so much fun.
It was so much
fun.
And
it was such a great turnout, and that meant so much to us.
Yes, we had a packed house. I mean, Norberto's was filled. It was so amazing.
Yeah,
and we did Palmas Bingo.
Yep.
Which was so much
and
fun.
we have had requests to do another live episode,
Yes.
so expect that in season 2.
Yes. It probably won't be Palmas Bingo. It'll probably be something
We'll switch
different.
it. Yeah, we'll do something different. We have some
But,
ideas.
Yeah. And then we came up, obviously, with like different games to play on the shows. Rapid Fire. I don't remember. Was the first Rapid Fire with like
Monica.
Mike? Oh, it was Monica. It was Monica?
Yeah, well, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
it
yeah,
was
because
Monica because
Kung
I
Fu
said
fighting.
because I said to her, I'm like, well, do you remember when we were doing superhero goof ups?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Joel came up with superhero goof ups, and we were supposed to like add that before every time we, you know. And so I said to Monica, I think that's what I said. I can't remember now, but I think one of us said something about like we need like a little like jingle or something to go before rapid fire, that segment.
Monica, we need you to come up with a song
for rapid fire
to sing.
Yeah, like
for
a little
Rapid
jingle.
That's a lot of pressure.
Fire. It's
It's
not.
fine. It's fine.
You got this.
It has to be like fast, like rapid.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
No, that's one of the things that I really love about Monica is
Her random sayings.
You don't expect something so random to come out of her mouth, and then
Yeah.
it happens, and you're like, that was the best thing ever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
That's so true.
Yeah.
It's like, remember at our house when Joel was being a Ninja Creamy he was doing his sales
His
presentation.
sales pitch to all of us, and we all
Yes.
bought a Ninja Creamy.
And then remember how Monica was like, talking about it and doing it.
And then she was like, she was acting as Joel for a
Yes,
bit.
it
And
was
she's like,
so
and
funny.
you need to buy it because blah, 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 and this and that. And she was using her arms and she was flailing her hands.
Oh my
and
God.
stuff. That was great.
I wish we had that on video.
I do.
That would be fun.
I do have it on video.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. I have
Oh.
that. Oh, I recorded it. Oh, yes.
Oh, well, maybe we could share that on our socials.
Perhaps we could.
Speaking of which,
Yes.
we may have failed, you guys.
We apologize.
Yes. Deeply, sincerely apologize. We feel like we've talked about a lot of pictures, videos, things that we said that we were going to share on our socials, and we never did it. And we're going to attempt to do our best to make that up to you during our off season, which is what is happening now. This show is basically a wrap up of season one, saying thank you for listening and what we did, what we can do better, and what we're planning for season 2. But in the meantime, while we are not recording and we're, out traveling, seeing the world, we are going to try and make up for what we said we'd do and share some of those fun pictures and, I don't know, all the things that we talked about on the shows. So I thought that it would be fun for us to go through each episode and just talk about like our favorite parts.
Oh, I love that.
From each episode. Obviously, like episode number one is just our like intro episode, so that doesn't count. So number 1 was Joel, which we already kind of talked about because it was not even really supposed to be an episode.
I actually recently re-listened to that episode and I got super happy because it was like 6 months ago.
You know what I just remembered, and as we were like going through each of these and trying to think about like our favorite parts about it, you know what my favorite part about that episode is?
What?
Once it was published and live and we put it out there and we were golfing and we listened to that episode like 3 times in the golf cart as we were golfing.
We're like, do you want to listen to it again?
Cracking.
We laughed so
Oh
hard.
my God. We were cracking up at ourselves.
We were so excited that it was live and it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I really loved that episode.
I know.
That was
now
so
I
much
kind of want to
fun.
go listen to it again.
Yeah, right?
It was so good.
I love the whole diving thing. Talking about the whole.
And I totally forgot about the superhero goof up.
Superpower goof ups.
I mean, I didn't forget about it, but I forgot how fun that one was.
That was fun.
I feel like maybe we need to bring that back again in season 2.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what? That's what's so great about this is we kind of go with the flow with each guest, and sometimes it comes up and sometimes it doesn't. Right?
Yeah.
So.
And sometimes if Well, so we have some guests that have listened to every show and some guests that have never listened and some guests that have listened to like a couple shows here and there.
You know, we actually don't have many guests that haven't listened to any.
Right.
In fact, most of them
Have
will
listened.
come to the episode and they're like, I just finished getting through all of them.
Yeah.
You know, like what was it, Lisa? Lisa,
she listened
she's
to
just like, I
everything.
binged it all.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
oh, good.
So she like it was funny, like she said stuff that I was like, oh, I didn't even remember that about
Yeah.
that episode.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm the one who edits the shows.
Yeah.
And she was like talking about something. I was like, that happened? Oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, big thanks to Joel for being our guinea pig and
Yeah.
letting us.
And also just big thanks to Joel for being this like reoccurring guest that is so much fun to have on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like he's so much light and just laughter.
Yeah,
and-
he's going to be probably our most frequent guest. I mean,
Yeah.
so season 1, he will have been on 4 times.
Yeah.
I mean, with other people, not just him alone.
It's
because
good stuff.
Yeah, it's good though. So then show number 2 was JLD, which
Yeah.
was a great show.
And also JLD is another one who's listened to all of our episodes.
Yes,
which
he
I
is-
just found out.
yeah, he is one of our biggest fans.
It's-
He's listened to every show, which I just love because, like, I mean, that's the guy that, like,
He's so
he's
amazing.
I mean, not that Joel isn't. Joel is a podcaster too, but
Absolutely.
I mean, JLD has had the number one podcast in business for 10 years with EO Fire.
Well, and how cool, how did you feel when we were at the premiere of Dirty Coin for Alana's,
Yeah,
documentary?
yeah.
And in the question and answers, he asked a question, he said, and he brought up our podcast. And
He's
I
so
was
awesome.
just like, what?
Right?
What?
Right?
And I'm like, I just
Yeah.
love that guy.
Love that guy. So thanks, JLD, for
Yes.
being our biggest fan. We love you. And he also made 2 appearances because he did a cameo
He did
on
in Rustin's episode.
Yeah.
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 And that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Him just showing up like that.
Yeah.
That was cool.
So awesome. Which I do find funny because, and I didn't edit this out of the episode. He says that we go live on Instagram. We don't go live on Instagram,
But we might.
but we might. And yeah. Anyway, JLD, thanks for listening. We love you so much.
So much.
Yeah. And speaking of Dirty Coin, Alana was guest
Episode
number
3.
3. Yeah. And this was before Dirty Coin was out, premiered.
We had just gotten her right like a day or two before she left
before
to go
they
to Europe.
left. Yeah. So we were very lucky. And, I know we've talked about this, you and I, but I want to say this here and very, very grateful that we have a friend that's so fucking cool. Like,
Yeah. She's so impressive.
so impressive. And
And she likes us.
if you get the chance to see Dirty Coin, highly, highly, highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't have enough good things to say about it. Like,
right?
I
It's
was
so
when
good.
I was in like it kept my interest the entire time.
yeah. And you wanted more.
And this
Like,
wasn't even.
I didn't want it to
and,
end.
And the thing is this isn't even like, even if you don't understand Bitcoin and you're not really into crypto, it's still fascinating.
It really
like,
is.
and it's like,
She
what?
does-
Like
they-
it
they
blew
did
my
such a
mind.
great
There was
job.
so much about that
Yeah.
world that I just had no idea.
Yeah.
And so well done, Alana. Like you are an incredible human being.
Agreed. And I mean, we already touched on Monica and
Yeah.
her yabba dabba doo.
I do it better.
I know.
Yabba dabba doo.
It's fine. You could try a little bit harder.
I could, but
You got me.
we've already got perfection.
We got perfection with
I
Monica.
mean,
We don't
right?
need it.
Yeah.
Yabba dabba doo.
She was our inspiration for rapid fire.
Yeah.
And the kung fu fighting,
Which was again so random. We're like,
Right.
let's do like a little like jingle for kung fu, for rapid fire.
and that just came out of her
was,
mouth.
and-
Like,
and, like, what?
Yeah.
What? But you love that about her.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to have her on again because she's such an interesting person
She really is. She really is.
and a great friend.
yes. Love you, Mon.
Love.
Then we had Mike Lee, and this was, well, actually, Monica, Mike, and Amber were all
Out and about.
because we were on a cruise ship
Yep.
all together, and
We found the karaoke room.
well, but before we even left Palmas, we were like, we should try and record on the ship. And what did Joel say? No, it's not going to happen. You're not going to do it.
And we're like, yes, we will.
Yes, we will. And so what did we do? I haul all the shit with me. It's heavy. I'm like, Becky, we have to do this.
So we found ourselves walking around this cruise ship, just trying to find like a quiet space
And
to
we
record.
went so many places.
And then finally, out of nowhere, it clicked with me all of a sudden. I'm like, can we go to the karaoke room? Oh
yeah,
my
and
God.
it was like the middle of the afternoon,
That
right?
was such a great idea.
Was
it was empty.
Was it a day at sea?
It was.
It was. And you would think the karaoke room would be booked, but
Yeah.
there was nobody in there, or we
It was-
we were
yeah.
able to book it.
It was
and
so perfect.
yeah, so we got like, I don't know, an hour or two in the karaoke
Yep.
room, and we were able to knock out
Monica,
3 recordings that day. So
Mike and Amber.
Yeah.
And that was so cool. And
Yeah.
what I like about that too is those out and about episodes are a little bit shorter. Like I think they were like 30 minutes long.
Yeah,
They're,
yeah.
not quite as long. But we were able to get so much content out of that,
Yeah.
like listening to Mike's story was, we have gotten so much feedback from that episode
Yeah.
of just positive feedback about like how inspirational he is.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
he's just such a cool dude.
Really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love that.
Yeah.
And then right after we had Mike on, we had Amber on,
Yeah.
and we decided to do the newlywed game,
Yeah.
which was really cool. to
Was
do.
really cool. And also to note, like, we've done it now a few times and they are still in the
Champion.
lead.
They're
in
the
case,
newlywed game
Amber, in
champion.
case you're
Yeah.
listening and
Mhm.
you want to know, just so you know,
You're still in the
you're
lead.
still in the lead. Everything is good.
Yep.
Nobody's taken over.
Yep. Nobody's
Yeah.
beat you yet.
Yeah,
so-
you guys crushed it.
Yes. And so then we had our first Palmas peeps and the people who raised them, and that was your man Sean and his
Kathy.
mom Kathy.
She loved being on, and it was just so cute
Yeah.
watching them, like they sat across from each other and just them, just hearing the stories, and it's such a cool thing to kind of like hear the stories from the parents' perspective, and then like the kid, and just
Yeah.
like I don't even know, like I really love that kind of like episode.
Well, and I also think that it's like really cool just for nostalgia, like down
Yeah.
the road. Like Sean will always have that
Yeah.
that podcast that he can go listen
Yeah.
to of him and his mom.
Yeah, and I love that, like at the end we had them say 3 words about each other,
Yeah.
and that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then next we had Joel and Sheila,
which was awesome.
his mom, Foopy-doo.
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 That was pretty cool. And the fact
Yeah.
that he still has Foopy-doo, and if you don't know what we're talking about, go listen to that episode because it's really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll post a picture of Foopy-doo.
Foopy-doo. No, we really will. We
No,
swear.
we really will.
We have
Promise.
to. Yeah, we're
We
going to
promise.
for sure
Promise
this
you.
time.
Promise.
Absolutely. Because we said we were going to do it on the episode probably, and we never did.
I don't even know if I put it on. So just for those of you that don't know, I do a blog post for every episode on our website, somuchpodcast.com/ whatever that show is, somuchpodcast.com/ Sheila Joel. And I try to put the images or videos or whatever we talk about on the show on there, but I'm not sure if I got Foopy-doo or not.
Foopy-doo.
But I definitely did link to Sheila's YouTube channel, which she has, well, probably not more followers than John, but definitely more followers than we have. I think she has like 85,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel,
That's
which
so
is
cool.
Travels with Sheila. And she gets recognized
That's really
when
cool.
she's definitely been recognized at O'Hare and other airports around the world because
Yeah.
people follow her for
Yeah.
her travel
Yeah.
adventures.
They have
so that's really cool.
a great story there. So if you haven't listened to that episode yet, you really should. It's really good.
And then it's quite possibly one of my favorite episodes, although I hate to say that because honestly, like I love every episode.
I love all of them.
I do too.
But it is hard. Yeah.
It really is. But
who is next?
It was Derek Heath.
Yes.
And what's
oh
special?
my God, I'm sorry, but that did, how weird did that sound? I was like, yes.
What is interesting about Derek's episode is we had to do it twice. We did. I guess technically we didn't have to do it twice, but
what happened was we scheduled him and he came over and we had technical difficulties. We had technical difficulties with with the SD card, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And so we ended up still talking for like an hour or so about all the stuff. And we're like, no, we're going to have to redo all of this because we couldn't record it.
Yeah.
And what was cool about that is then he came back, I don't know, like a week or two later. And then we re-recorded. Well, we recorded it this time. Yeah. And it was like, you wanted to hear all of it again. You wanted to like go deeper on things. So I'm actually glad that happened because I think we got more out of it on the second time around.
Yeah. It was really good.
But
it was really, really good.
Is, oh man.
It's funny because I remember him saying like, I'm not interesting. This is not going to be a good episode. Like I'm nothing. And I'm like, oh my God, you are kidding me. Yeah. This guy is super interesting. And I highly recommend you listen to his episode. I mean, his story about coming to Palmas after Hurricane Maria and like delivering supplies and arriving in the pitch black.
The only light that they had was like what, a cruise ship?
The
was
cruise
it?
ship that
was and it just I don't know what to say. Like that was he's
no
got
words.
He has an incredible story.
Yeah,
and
you just have to listen to the episode.
I love that. Yeah. Love it.
Next up, we had Kate.
Oh yeah,
of John and Kate, and I know both of we just loved hearing her side of their love story.
Met. Yeah,
it was cute.
Yeah,
yeah. And then this was also we recorded with her shortly after we flocked them, and we have the funny video of us flocking them when I got eaten by fire ants.
Well, what sucked was there's no like street lights. So it's pitch black and we were trying to do it in secret. So we're flock. And if you don't know what flocking is, the PLCC
Palmas Ladies Community Club.
Yes.
I'm vice president, and if you're not a member, you should join. It's really fun.
And also make mention that Aaron was the one
right.
Yeah, because there's like a competition going on.
That I sent you.
Aaron sent you, so then she gets props for that. But so you can flock somebody's yard. So what it is just a bunch of fake flamingos
that they put in your yard,
and in with the
you
sign
can do
that
it
said,
for celebrations, birthdays, anniversaries,
that just
new
says,
babies.
Like, you've been flocked.
Yeah,
and so we thought it would be funny to flock John and Kate's yard, but it was pitch dark.
Yeah, we did it at like 11 o'clock at night,
and leave it to Aaron to get attacked again by fire ants.
Yeah,
I didn't get a single bite.
I stood in an anthill.
Yeah, and she just got bit up so bad.
It's real bad.
Yeah.
So then we had another of our favorites. We had Lisa Rodriguez.
Oh yeah.
Owner of Norberto's.
Yep.
Or co-owner.
Yeah. Her and her husband.
Yeah. So my favorite part of that episode, or I guess not my favorite part, but like what I loved learning about her was her story of like when she was a young woman and she was working at a makeup counter and all the celebrities that she met, like JFK Jr. And like Mike Tyson and like
and just hearing about like cool people, shitty people.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I loved just. When you meet Lisa, you like can't help but just fall in love with her because she's such a wonderful person.
So sweet.
But like when she would talk more about like antique shopping and stuff and like all of the classic films, like I feel like it's like what would that be? Kindred spirits or something?
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
just connected with her on that because I'm into all that stuff too.
Yeah.
And I don't know. She's so lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if,
Well,
yeah.
And then, I mean, obviously, like, special shout out to them because they, hosted our
Live
So
event.
Much Palmas live event and
Yeah.
the bingo and
Yeah.
and all that. So
Yeah, that was awesome.
we really appreciated you doing that for us
Yep.
and just all your support,
Yeah.
Next up was Peter
Pita.
Kazadoy, also aka Kaz or PK.
PK. Yeah.
PK. So I know that there was a bit of a debate between you two on that episode.
It's not done yet.
I know.
He's going to be on for a part 2 in season 2 because we are not finished with
Yeah.
our debate about premonition versus manifestation.
Yep.
And he actually just yesterday sent me a video that he's like, you need to watch this, and then we will continue this discussion season 2.
Okay, I'm going to need you to send me that video as well.
Yeah.
I don't think he sent it to me.
I'll send
I
it
want
to
to
you. Yeah.
watch as well.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Looking forward to that.
Cool. And then we had his better half on. Oh, yeah. Jenna. We love you, Jenna.
Yeah. What was the name of her first car? It was something funny.
It was something funny.
It was the Pimp Skort.
Pimp Skort.
How do-
Pimp Skort.
I think we have a picture of that, so we should post that.
Yeah, for sure.
But
for sure.
yeah.
So I think one of my favorite things about that episode was learning that Jenna was a viral YouTube star before YouTube was like even really a big thing. And so you definitely want to, obviously listen to the episode, but also go check out the blog post. And we have links to that, her YouTube channel that I
just had an idea.
What?
So I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but I kind of like it. So when you said she was like a viral like YouTube person, like before YouTube was really thing, Sean was too.
Oh yeah.
And so like Justin Bieber followed Sean before Justin Bieber was a thing.
Which is crazy.
And, and Sean went to New York for like, he had like, different, Google events and whatever. And so it would be kind of cool to have a random episode of like, what if we had it kind of like, you wouldn't expect them to be together on an episode, but it might make it interesting. Like, what if you had Sean and Jenna together on an episode?
Well, I feel like if we're going to do that, then we should include JLD because he's kind of a superstar in his own right. Because, I mean, he's
100%.
been in movies.
He's a Bollywood star.
He's a Bollywood star, and he's won The Price is Right. I mean,
so cool,
right?
Yeah.
Well, and then we could have a whole nother segment about IMDb people. JLD could be on that. Alana's on that. Joel's on that.
IMDb people.
IMDb peeps.
IMDb peeps.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that happened. Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Another part of my favorite of Jenna's episode was her story of her and Pita meeting and like falling in love.
They're ridiculously cute.
They are the cutest.
Yeah.
The cutest. Love you guys. So then moving on, this truthfully is another of my like favorites. Can you guess?
Who was that after Jenna?
Trish.
Oh yeah, Trish was after Jenna.
And do you know why? I was like,
there's
many
things
reasons,
here.
but Trish prepped.
Oh my gosh, did Trish prep? So Trish knew about this for weeks. We had her scheduled for like weeks. And she would periodically, like every few days, send me a new message that just said, I'd like to add this to my list of things. And so when I say I had a list from her.
No, we had a list. We didn't even get through the whole list.
Like I'd swipe up and scroll up and there would be more. Like I had a whole list. And I think we actually got through the list for her episode.
Really?
Yeah, I really do.
Well, then we must have hustled because there was a lot on there.
But there was, yeah, it was really, yeah, she definitely gets the award for most prepped, you know,
100%.
guest.
Maybe we could have a Palmas Peeps award show.
Lisa would have to get something because Lisa binged our show before we recorded with her.
But then JLD's also listened to every show.
Yeah.
So we might have to have like a, ooh, this is what we could do for a show, for a game, for a, we could ask questions from the show. Like, you know what I mean?
You remember.
Right. Or like, do you know this answer about this person? That could be really fun.
That's fun.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay. Part of why I love Trish so much is just because we share the love of spreadsheets, and she gave me that coffee mug.
Which
that
I
you
gave to her.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm ever going to give it up, though, now.
Well, no, because there's nobody. Like, I thought I loved spreadsheets until I met Trish. And then we both realized, and then she messaged me. Because
I know.
Like, Trish is one of the most respectful and thoughtful people I have ever met. She's so amazing. And she messages me, and she was like, hey, I know you gave me this mug because, you know, whatever. And she's like, but I feel like after meeting Aaron, I don't deserve it. and she said, would it be okay if I then, you know, gave it to her? And I'm like, I totally agree with this. And yes, go ahead.
I love that.
So it was kind of cool.
I love that so much. Like,
Yeah.
I love the mug so much.
Yeah.
I just have to shout out to Joel because he told me this the other day, and I was like, aw. So I make my coffee the night before, and then I don't program it because I never know, like,
Yeah.
I might get up early, I might get up late, you know, like, I never know. So he's normally up before me, and he pushes the button to make my coffee. And so the other day he walked in with, what mug was it? It must have been, can I say this?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So after the debate, it was after the debate.
Okay.
He walked in.
I see
with
where this is going.
Basically, it's an FJB mug. And it, for those of you, if you know, you know. And so when I saw the mug in the morning, I was like, oh my God. He must have been upstairs or something, as I think I texted him, and I was like, great mug choice. And he was like, that's intentional. And I was like, oh.
Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool that he thinks like that?
Yeah, so he picks but I pick my mug based on that.
Yeah.
Like how I'm feeling that day. Like I have Marcy Cherry mugs that some days I'm like, today's a Marcy Cherry mug day. Or I have like a Kansas City Chiefs mug. And if I'm...
Which we should mention, because the Palmas Ladies Community Club now is going to have some sweet merch designed by Marcy Cherry.
Yes.
And it's so freaking cute.
It's so cute. So if you go to palmasladies.com, it's actually on our homepage right now. And click on not the top link or the top image, but the bottom images where the various... merchandise is, and it will take you to Marcy's Etsy store, and then you can shop for PLCC merch.
And what percentage goes to the PLCC?
20%.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. So, huge shout out. Thank you, Marcy, for doing that for us. And I've already got, I got a t-shirt, I got a custom wine tumbler, and I have a new tote.
I want the mug, and I want the design with the golf cart. I love the golf cart design because that is so cute. It's so cute.
So definitely go check that out. palmasladies.com. Moving on. So we're staying in Trish's house because next we have Clint and his mom Janice.
Oh my gosh! Don't you just want to take Janice and have her with you everywhere you go?
I love her so much. Clint is the luckiest boy to have her for a mother.
But look at how amazing Clint turned out.
Yeah.
Janice is such an incredible woman. Everything that she did to get homeschooling legit in Washington State.
Yeah.
She is pure goodness. And you can't help but love her.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, she's so sweet. And she's super flexible. And
She is flexible. Did we ever? We did, didn't we? Did we get a picture? Did
we
get a video?
definitely got a picture.
Probably got
I'm
a
not
picture.
sure if we shared it, but
I'm sure we didn't because
we definitely got a
sucked about
picture.
doing
So, so we're like we said, we're really sorry. We're gonna do better. We're gonna make it up to you. We're gonna find a way to make it up to you.
that. We're gonna post pictures and videos, and then we'll just put on there episode.
Yeah,
number,
what episode
blah,
it was.
with yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
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 We'll make it super random.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
just be like, hey, this
Yeah.
episode, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. And so the next guest, I know we were both very excited to have her on, and she was super excited to be on. She asked.
She asked. Which
She
how
asked.
cool is that? Because here we are.
And at the time, she was 15.
you know, like Emily,
Yeah.
our Palmas's very own Rory Gilmore.
Yes.
Like
We've renamed her.
yeah. She is so beloved.
Yeah.
Such an amazing young woman.
Yep.
And she wanted to be on.
Yeah. And I love too that now we're kind of making this a family affair because like, for example, we're already planning for season 2.
Yeah.
We've already got, I think I have like at least 25 guests already like on the roster for season 2.
Yeah.
And one of those is Amelia,
Yeah.
which is Rustin and Alana's oldest daughter. And
She's so cool.
She's incredible. She's an amazing artist. She's getting ready to go to
Cambridge. That she like saved up
Raised
for and
money,
everything. Like
yeah.
amazing young woman.
Yeah.
And you know, we were at the premiere of Dirty Coin, and I ended up chit-chatting with her for the longest time after the show because I'm like, you are so interesting. And actually Amelia is going to, I have to chat with her and get the details, but she's going to do like a cartoon versions of you and me for the show.
Yay!
I thought that was way
can't
cool.
wait.
And
Yeah.
she's such a talented drawer.
Yeah.
So talented.
Yeah. She
So
really
she's
is.
going to be a fun guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll stay tuned for that. So Emily was our first
Yeah.
teen podcast.
Yeah, Teen Pod.
Honestly, like highly recommend.
TP.
Highly recommend listening to that. Emily's so great, and she just amazes me. She really does. Like I can't imagine had I had her ambition when I was 15.
Well, look at
know.
who raised her.
I know.
Like Clint and Trish have done such an amazing job.
Yeah, they really
that
have.
they like. She's so bright and so. Gosh, there's not enough good things to say about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, great kid.
Agreed. So
Palmas
then,
loves you, Emily.
Yes. So then this was for me this was one of our funnest episodes, and I think it's only because like we definitely had like maybe just a little overserved at this episode.
I feel like I need to guess what episode this is.
Well, I can give you hints. We went outside to take pictures, and we may or may not have been upside down.
Marissa.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
we did cheerleading formations.
That was,
in
and I
our
realized I
yard.
like looking back on those pictures, which I do not want to post because it was like so awkward.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god, we're posting those.
Here,
We're posting
here,
'em.
Marissa is like, you know, we're bases, and she could like, she's like perfect form, and here I am like, were we drinking? Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not even bent over enough. Like, I'm like, could I just not bend down enough or whatever? Like,
it's fine.
we look-
It's been a
it looks-
long time
it
since
looks-
we've done cheerleading formations.
It looks so awkward.
No,
But it was pretty. She's so cool, man.
yeah, she's
really
really
so
is.
cool.
So it was a really we had a really fun time
Yeah.
doing that episode.
Shout-
I'm not saying every other episode wasn't great because they all were.
yeah,
but-
shout out to Coral Nursery
yeah,
too,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Check them out and support Coral Nursery.
because they're doing a lot of good
Yeah,
things here.
and then next up was Jason Maddox, and those two are doing stuff together with the Beach Bohea,
Which is so
and
cool.
Coral Nursery is going to be their space is
Yep.
going to be next to the Beach Bohea,
Yep.
which we talk about on Maddox's episode.
And also, I just need to say, like, Jason is like one of the most interesting dudes here in town.
Yeah.
Like, and we were so grateful because he's so freaking busy. That's why,
that guy does everything.
I mean, that's why I joke around that there has to be multiples of him. I even checked behind his ear to
Yeah.
see if there was like a. Do we have?
did
like
we find out Was there a tattoo number back there?
Yeah, he's number 2.
Oh,
He's
that
not the
one-
original. Yeah, that was number 2.
That
The
was number
original
2.
is somewhere
Okay.
else. Yeah,
Okay.
there's multiples of him.
Yeah.
for
So
sure.
you definitely want to go back and check
Palmas's
out.
very own Iron Man.
Yeah. You definitely want to go listen to that episode to learn more about
So much.
which
Yeah.
Jason you're dealing with,
Yeah.
because there are different ones. I mean, really, you never know who you're going to get.
And he gave us the time.
He did.
That was so cool. And it wasn't just like a try to breeze through it. He really chatted with us.
And he listened to a bunch of episodes.
Yeah, he did.
Before he came, because he wanted to be prepared. And honestly, him doing that, because like you said,
It's a compliment.
honestly, he's
Busy.
he's super busy. And the
Yeah.
fact that he took the time to listen to us, and I mean, let's be honest, our show it's a little silly. It's a little silly.
That is intentional.
I know, but
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he listened,
He
and,
listened.
and he
Which is-
came here and
that's-
was like, "Aren't we going to do that?"
Do you know what? That's a huge compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you so much for being on,
Yeah,
Jason. We're
thank
grateful
you.
for you.
And I know we mentioned it earlier, but if you haven't checked it out, you need to go
Ember and Vine.
take a visit to Ember and
100%
Vine.
delicious.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So good. So then the next guests are near and dear to your heart.
Was that my
It
sisters?
was your sister.
Oh man, and my eldest sister Melanie, she said to me afterwards, she was like, "I'm so disappointed." I'm like, "Why?" And she's like, "I had written down all these nice things that I wanted to say about you. I wanted to talk about your painting and all this stuff." And she's like, "All I did was tell terrible stories about you."
Which were great.
It's cool. That was hysterical.
It was such a good podcast.
It
I
was
loved
fun.
it.
Yeah, it was fun. And I definitely
I loved getting to know them.
Are they great?
We had such a good time.
They're so great.
Yeah, I'm glad
I
that we
told
got to
them I
spend
think
a lot
I'm
of
gonna
time
have to
together.
get them down here once a year.
Yeah.
Just that was such a great trip to have.
For real.
Just me and my
they,
sisters.
They have to come back. Yes.
Yeah. And I want to do more of that. So, people when they have their their siblings in town or friends in town, let's get you all on.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's really fun.
So
Yeah.
fun.
So then the next 2 episodes are Swider Part 2 and Part 1.
Yeah,
Which,
we Tarantino to that.
yeah. And many people I feel might be confused by that, but
Yeah.
it was Swider's idea. So we recorded the first episode with him early on, way early, and then we were unable to release it due to some business dealings that he was going through, and he just didn't want to
We had to wait.
cause any issue, and so we had to wait. And then when we did Part 2, because we felt like we had so much more to talk about with him, and so we did the side-by-side
Yeah.
wine tasting
tasting.
and
Learn-
discovered some things about ourselves.
Yeah. I open up like a fine Italian wine.
Right, and I'm closed up like a
She likes
Napa
to,
cab.
She likes to stay in that barrel. If you don't know the reference, listen to the episode. It's really
Yeah.
funny. But he was the one that said to us, launch this one first.
Yeah.
And I really had nothing to say because I don't even really know what happened on our first recording with him
Right.
because I wasn't really there.
So if you listen to Part 1, so the second episode, but Part 1 of that episode, you will notice that Becky is very quiet in that episode, and there's a reason.
It was an accident. Earlier that day, I had a really bad neck ache, I was tension, and it was creating this tension headache, which sucks because I'm I'm going to be recording later and I'm going to be miserable. And I don't know if anybody who has ever had those before, but it's when you have a migraine or a tension headache, you get tired too, you're just you just want to lay down. And I'm I cannot have this because we were finally able to schedule Eric.
Right.
And that was oh, we have to do this. So I don't really like to take a lot of medication. But I have CBD oil that I would take from time to time because it's an anti-inflammatory. And I have that by my bedstand in case I ever need it. And so I'm you know what? We're going to take extra because we just want to get this gone so I can be good to go for later. And so I took 2 full droppers of it. And I'm okay, this will be good. And so Aaron shows up later to like prep before Eric got here. And as she was walking down the stairs, I think I said to her, I can't feel my feet.
Yep. That's what you said.
And I had realized that here's what happened. I think Sean used up my CBD oil, and because it has like in big letters CBD on the little dropper, and he had put like I had like this other CBD bottle there that I didn't recognize, and I didn't realize that on it is also like Delta 8 THC, right? And so unknowingly, I took 2 full droppers of that, and I was like
Super stoned.
and it was like, I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh no, this isn't good. And so Eric arrives, and so like I'm not talking, I'm listening the whole time, and I'm just kind of like my eyes are going back and forth from like Eric to Aaron. I'm just like, what? And
I mean, you talked a little,
right? And I was proud of that, because it was hard to get my brain to get the words to go to my mouth, and so that was an accident, and it was unplanned. And
now she checks her bottles.
I checked my bottles now. Also, my headache was gone.
Yeah.
So there is that.
Yep.
But I wasn't all there on that episode, and that was an accident. So yeah.
But we had some really good stories come out of that episode, and including a lot of stories about Richard Sparrow.
That was great.
In peace.
Yeah.
We love you, Richard, and it was really cool to hear some of those stories from, Swider's perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say, yeah.
So then our next guest was Mindy Slovic. And, she had just, I feel like she had just been back for like a few days from their around the world, their second around the world with the family.
Yep.
And so it was cool just hearing about their adventures, and like, I think it's really cool what they're doing, and I love that the boys get that, cultural experience.
What an
and
amazing
learning.
experience for them.
Yeah,
it's
so cool.
I mean, how many kids get to say they did that?
Right. They've been around the world twice.
And what I love about them too is it's like they're such a good family, and they're so humble, and they're just good people, you know. And so that was really cool listening to her tales and everything.
Then we had Not Just Another Wine Cast.
Yeah.
With Anthony, the wine guy.
This is just a part 1 too. He's going to be back on season 2.
Yeah. We did not, for me anyway, we did not get enough Anthony.
And like Palmas and Anthony.
Yeah, exactly.
It turned out to be like us learning a lot about wine, which I wasn't planning on, but also that was really cool to me.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate it. I mean, he's so knowledgeable.
Agreed. I loved it. And honestly, like I can talk to Anthony all night long
100%.
about wine and all day. And I really hope that you guys get to
meet
connect.
him in Italy. Yeah.
And I'm sure it will happen.
Yeah.
Like
we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
As long as he's there, we'll make it happen.
Yeah. He'll definitely be back on season 2.
Yeah.
And we'll get more about Anthony and him and Palmas and all that good stuff. And then I know we already talked about PLCC a little bit, but I don't think mentioned Diane Reeve, who is our new PLCC president. And she's the one who like twisted my arm and got me to be the PLCC VP. And we had a great time chatting with her and learning. I know.
She has a heart of gold.
She really does.
She is such a wonderful woman. She's so lovely. I liked hearing about her past life in nursing and everything, and I just think that she's lovely.
Yeah. And of course I love her. She's one of my 2 Palmas moms. I have.
Yeah.
Oh, we only had one on.
Her second Palmas mom will be on season 2.
We have for the next episode. It was Joel's 3rd appearance. Chuck's. I feel like it's Chuck's first, because the live event we didn't publish the live event because there was a lot of background noise and like other things going on. So if you want to watch the live event, you still can. It's on our Facebook. So you can go there and watch it, but
This was a cool episode because
Yeah,
we had
it was
Joel
different.
and Chuck on. So it was like Chuck's really first real episode.
Yeah.
And because they had just gotten back from
Scotland.
Scotland together, they had done this really incredible trip together, hashtag Bro Ventures.
They hiked for 10 days the
Yeah.
West Highland Way.
What a
well,
cool
not quite
thing.
10 days.
Like, what a cool thing.
Yeah. I think my favorite part of the Chuck and Joel episode was the fact when you walked in. So we recorded at our house, and when you walked in, Chuck was already there, and he was wearing a skirt.
A kilt.
Oh, right. A kilt. And they got really mad at us when we called it a skirt.
Well, and what I said to him is I said throughout this whole episode, anytime that you correct me on something that I'm saying incorrectly, I'm going to take a sip of wine.
Yeah.
And I did that.
As you should.
It was wonderful.
Yeah. So that was fun.
That was a good episode. That was really cool.
It was a good episode.
That was really cool. Like,
Yeah.
I love that they got to do that trip together.
I know. They had a great time. Next up, this was an interesting episode. Rustin.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there were a few interesting things. We got interrupted.
Yeah.
We totally had a rando
Yeah.
just come in and like pick up a mic.
Yeah.
The hell,
Yeah. The hell, JLD.
right? Who do you think you are?
JLD. That was really cool.
So that was fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
he popped in for
Yeah.
and he jumped in for a little bit. And
Yeah.
That was really cool. But that was a fun episode. It's a little bit longer of an episode because
It is.
Rustin and I had talked prior, and we're like, we wanted to do because Rustin is like a DM, or rather you could just say GM, a game master.
Okay.
And
wait. Let's back up, because if somebody hasn't listened to that, they may not know what that means. So a D&D, Dungeons and Dragons,
or any other RPG role playing game,
right?
and
He's
so
a game master.
Yes.
So he like runs the
it.
game.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we talk a little bit about that. So go back to that episode because that is really interesting. I enjoyed that episode.
So muchpodcast.com/Rustin.
Yes. And we were talking before the, like a week or two before we had him on, and he was like, I think it would be really fun to do like a mini RPG with her.
Yeah.
And I said, I think that's a great idea. And then like a week before, he said, what if I have her DM? And I'm like, yes. And that was really cool
It
to
was
put
fun.
you in that
Yeah.
position.
Yeah.
And
it was cool. So
because because you really don't understand it until you actually do. Because a lot of people
Yeah.
be like, what is that nerd stuff? Like,
Yeah.
because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And now you get to kind of see why.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it's like,
and I would totally do it again.
I love the storytelling.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So it was really cool to do, and I'm glad we did it that way. Just for those of you that listen, I mean, if you don't want to listen to the game part, I think the first part of the episode's like 40-ish minutes, and then the rest is the game. So, but I still think you should listen to the game because it's fun, and it is funny.
It is.
I mean, that part is funny, like
Yeah.
going through the whole thing, and you might learn something about D&D that I had zero clue.
Yeah.
I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Way fun.
So then the next episode, and we are actually recording this before this episode is recorded, and it is Swider and Joel hijack our show.
They hijacked.
They hijacked.
Yeah.
So let's just give like a little background. If you listen to Swider's part 1 show, so it's really the first episode that we recorded with him.
So it's the second.
It's the second episode,
Yeah.
but it's the first recording. I know this makes no sense, but it will if you listen. Before so much podcast, so much Palmas ever was a thing, Swider and Joel talked about doing basically this exact same thing, talking to people in Palmas. And I was going to produce the show. They were going to do it, but they never did it. They talked about it and they never did it. And then, the way that this was born is we were out one night. Becky said, there's so much I don't know about you. and this podcast was born.
Yeah.
And we did it. We made it happen. We're 30 episodes in.
Bum.
Right?
Yeah.
And so the other night we're out and they said, can we hijack the show? Can we do a show? And we agreed.
Yeah.
We're recording this on Sunday.
They're recording on Tuesday.
They're recording on Tuesday.
Yeah.
However, I do get to edit the show. So I get to control. I mean, maybe it will happen. Maybe it won't.
It's going to happen.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope it's good enough that I feel like we can publish it.
It will be.
I'm sure
it's going to be great.
I'm sure it will be.
And you know, they'll pay homage to our sweet show.
Yeah.
Too. Like, well, you know.
No, they're very happy that the show is actually being this is actually happening.
Yeah, they both are. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's happening. So we can't really talk about it because it's in the future.
We already have an incredible lineup for season 2.
We really do.
People who come up to us and say, I want to be on. I want to be on. I mean, let's talk about this. We were contacted just last week, and that
by 3 people.
Yes. And
3 people for one person.
For one person. We're going to be having on
David Sanabria.
Yes.
The head of TBA.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the headmaster at TBA. And I'm so excited because I got contacted by, Jen Heath and Lana.
And JLD.
And JLD. And they all were like,
Get this guy on.
And I said, this is exactly why we wanted the show.
Yeah.
Because we want to just bring everybody together, get to know each other, you know? And what a cool thing, because, you know, neither one, you or I, have children.
Right.
But it's like, that is such a big part of this community.
100%.
And so how amazing to have David on.
Yep.
That's going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
excited
so cool.
for it.
And we have a bunch of other people that we've already talked to, and it just... schedules and, you know, travels and all that haven't worked out. So we have Ivan from Pura Vida, Christina from Cafe de la Plaza, and we're going to have some of our guests back from season 1 for part 2.
I'm so excited.
In season 2.
I'm so excited.
And then we want to hear from you guys. If there's anyone that you think are... should be on the show, or like we mentioned earlier, if you have friends or family in town that it would be fun to have all of you on and, hear those funny stories that maybe you're not going to remember or think to tell us. The other thing that there's a few things that we wanted to ask of you. That is, if you have ideas for new segments, we've done, some of our ideas, but if you guys have ideas for things that we could do, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, well, and we love to try new things out too.
Yeah.
And just...
So message us, tell us if you see us around town.
Yeah.
Send us an Instagram message.
Yeah.
You can find us at So Much Palmas.
On Instagram.
Yep.
And there's so much I don't know about you on Facebook.
Yep.
But we're more on Instagram.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if Becky gets her shit together, she might get us on TikTok too.
TikTok.
We'll
TikTok,
see. We'll
TikTok,
see.
TikTok. So we're planning more live events in 2025. So stay tuned for season 2. We'll tell you more about that. I know we already said it, but just to reiterate, we apologize for not doing what we said we were going to do with images and videos on social, but we're going to do better. We're going to do better. We're going to be better.
We
right?
can be better.
Yeah.
We can always be better.
Yeah. So one of the ways that you can help us be better is if you go leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and say something nice about us, and then we will make that into a love note, and then you'll get featured on our Instagram and Facebook. On Fridays we do love notes.
Yeah,
but we need your love notes in order to do it.
Yeah. And it's one thing that I get from a lot of people, because there's a bunch of people who just listen to us on Spotify, and Spotify
I know, they won't let
it's only
you.
ratings.
I know, it's
so
dumb.
I'm like, no, go on Apple Podcasts.
I know.
I know. Then you can leave a real review.
And it's one thing if you tell us something, but we can't we
Can
can't use that if you just tell us when we see you that you listen and like the show.
You can text us though.
Oh yeah,
Or
you
send-
can text
yeah.
us like
Or send us a message
like
on
Jeff
Instagram.
Did
Yeah.
with Clint.
Yeah.
Text is fine, or
Yeah.
Instagram messages, however you want to do it. I mean,
Yeah.
ideally we get iTunes because then like that
Everybody
helps.
can see it.
Well, but that also boosts us on so like more people find out.
Oh,
Which, by the
love
way,
that.
you should be telling all your friends.
Mer-
Tell your friends about the podcast and
Tell your friends.
and subscribe and follow and like and share and do all those things.
all the things.
Yeah.
We're on YouTube too.
We are.
Yeah.
Because we are thinking about possibly for season 2.
Doing some video.
Yeah.
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 So that's kind of cool.
So that's maybe going to happen.
Means I'm gonna like have to always do my makeup and
Ugh.
stuff. Mer.
Nah. Can't we do like, on Zoom they have that like where the feature where the makeup just it does it for you?
I'll just keep like an emoji face over me,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a smiley face the entire time.
And it will just like move with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Can I have that too?
I'll put a
we
clown
can do
face
like our
on you.
emojis.
I'll put you.
Our emojis from our phones.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Also, what is the point of us doing video? Just come on.
Oh, but it'd be fun. Okay. So in closing, I just want to say thank you for everybody who has been a part of this journey with us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being guests. Thank you for supporting us, coming out to our live events. Just, I like honestly, we love you, Palmas, and thanks for being a part of our lives.
This has really been like a labor of love for us.
Yeah.
And because we love this community so much. So we always said that when we started this, like whether people really listen or not, we're going to do this because we love it.
Yes.
And so whether or not, it's not about like monetizing or anything like that. We're doing this because we love this community so much. We love you. We just, it's kind of our way of giving back.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to keep going because we have only gotten just really incredible feedback from everybody. And we're just so happy that you like it as much as we do.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Love you, Palmas.
So much.